Welcome to Last Weekend at ISU. I'm your host, Jackson Ennis. Let's jump right into your weekend recap of all things ISU. Students had the chance to attend the annual juried student exhibition reception and award ceremony on Thursday. The exhibition showcased work from Indiana State University's graduates and undergraduate artists. It is open until February 20th, so make sure to stop by and enjoy the art. Keep an eye out for This Week at ISU production, where we will hear from a student artist. On Thursday, the Psychic Soulmates performed for campus. Union Board invited couple Anthem and Avia to share their story of how they started performing in Las Vegas and on America's Got Talent. They also showcased their psychic abilities to students. Different members of the community showed their support for the Special Olympics by participating in the polar plunge. Participants dove into cold water to help fundraise for Special Olympics. President Goddard spoke about the importance of this event. Make sure to tune in to This Week at ISU to hear the full interview with him.
Excited to be the first one to jump in the water. I got to test the temperature, see how cold it is, and just excited to see everyone just have fun and the smiles on everyone's face, and maybe different emotions that they show when they pop out of the water with how cold it is. But just looking forward to celebrating with everyone here and making sure that we just again collectively come together to support this great cause.
The NAACP hosted a Hot Wings and Hot Topics event as part of their Founders Week. Students gathered to eat wings while discussing important topics. This event allowed the NAACP to get to know students better while celebrating the organization's history. Sycamore men's basketball took on the Murray State Racers in the Holman Center on Thursday night. Bruno Allathan coming out hot early with a three-pointer to start the Sycamore offense off right. Sterling Young was on point from three all night, shooting 3 for 6 from the perimeter. Sycamores are down 22 at half, but one thing you cannot do is count this team out. They scored 51 points in the second half, shooting 57% from the field and 50% from three, cutting the lead down to just 6 points. And then, with 21 seconds to go, Camp Wagner drills it from three to cut the Racer lead down to just 3. However, the Sycamores came up short, losing to the Racers 74-72. The Sycamores were 16 for 27 from the free throw line, but Coach Graves stood by his players' abilities.
Yes, everybody, we practice free throws. They get in the gym and they shoot free throws. And, for those, social media warriors and Facebook people and message board people that, think they can shoot 85% with 4,000 or 5,000 people in the crowd, and you've ran up and down the floor and you've wrestled a guy in the post and all that, you're not that good.
The team headed to Valparaiso on Sunday to take on the Beacons. The Sycamores were up by 1 with 20 seconds to go. Owen Deese fires from three and can't get it to go. After a brawl for the ball under the hoop, Anel St. Bernard tips it out to the free throw line, where Brody Whitaker grabs it and knocks in the go-ahead basket for the Beacons. Sycamores lose 76-75. Women's basketball hit the road to face the UNI Panthers on Thursday. Tierney Kelsey was hot from the perimeter, shooting 62.5% from the three-point line. Kelsey had 27 points, with over half coming from three-pointers. However, the Sycamores could not finish the job, falling to the Panthers 91-79. Another road matchup took place on Saturday against the Drake Bulldogs, resulting in an 88-70 Sycamore loss. Some players to highlight are J.C. Allen, who had 17 points and 10 rebounds, along with Amiri Flowers, who had 12 points and 8 rebounds in just 17 minutes of play. Baseball kicked off their season in Puerto Rico this past weekend, playing 3 games over the course of 3 days, securing a 10-3 season opening win over Manhattan on Friday, followed up by a 10-4 loss to 17th-ranked NC State on Saturday. Another ranked matchup followed on Sunday. The Sycamores fell to 21st-ranked Wake Forest 10-1. Indiana State baseball starts their season off 1-2 and will travel to Port Charlotte, Florida, where they kick off another series of games in the warm weather against the University of Miami, Florida. Softball was in Tampa Bay over the weekend. Thursday started off with a 10-4 loss to Kansas, followed by a 4-2 loss against the University of South Florida. On Friday, the Sycamores won their only game of the day 4-1 against DePaul. On Saturday, the Sycamores claimed a pair of wins. An 11-1 victory against Yale was followed by a 4-1 win against Boston College to conclude the tournament. Softball went 3-2 over the weekend and are now 5-5 for the season. Their win over Boston College is the first time since the 2023 season where they have beaten a Power 4 school. They will travel to Memphis next week, where they will spend their weekend competing in the Memphis softball tournament. Track and field split up this weekend, traveling to the Music City Invitational hosted by Vanderbilt and the Tyson Invitational hosted by the University of Arkansas. The throwers were on fire in Nashville, with Ben Brown taking the win in the men's shot put with a mark of 56 feet 1 inch, along with Olivia Marshall coming out victorious in the women's shot put with a mark of 48 feet 4.75 inches. Sprints kept the same energy in Fayetteville. Janiyah Bowman now leads the Missouri Valley Conference in the 200-meter race, and her time of 23.77 seconds now stands as the second fastest time in program history. Trenton Jones also takes the conference lead in the 400-meter race. His time of 47.52 seconds moves him up to the third fastest time in program history. Track and field will return to Terre Haute next weekend, where the Sycamores will compete in the ISU Open at the indoor track facility here on campus. That's all the time we have this week. If you would like to get involved with Sycamore Video, or if you have any events that you would like for us to cover, send us an email at isu-sycamorevideo@indstate.edu. Check us out on Instagram at sycamorevideo-ISU Student Media or Sycamore Video on YouTube. See you next week, Sycamores.